Back garden update, Tuesday 22nd of April. I'm on my second energy drink. This bit here, this will be a mess nearly all the time, so we won't bother too much with it. There's a couple of cornflowers from a few years ago that still survive. I think a housemate of mine planted a little rose bush down there, and then I've got a couple of carnations. There'll be various other things growing there. These seem to be white bluebells there. I can't remember what colour they were in the past, but they seem to be white now. So this will tend to get turned into courgettes at some stage when I get round to it. Right, I've been working for the last 3 days, Saturday, Sunday and Monday. So today's like my recuperation day. So first load of washings on the line. That's mainly my work clothes, although it's not my work trousers because I got them all fluffy last week with some tissue paper. So they're in the second wash with me t-shirts. Planted out those 11 aubergines last week. They don't look they're doing too well at the moment, but we'll see how they go. The snack peppers that got planted out, they look okay. And these are the other 32 Turkish orange aubergines, because I've been emptying things out of that polytunnel there, so they're sort of like enjoying the sunshine at the moment. Well, and also I had to put them somewhere while this was the main event of today. I've moved this trestle table in here, and I think I'll mainly put snack peppers and tomatoes on there. These are some La Diva cucumbers that I sowed 7 days ago, and 30 out of 31 have germinated, so there's 2 there. That's the only one that's not above ground, while the other ones, they're coming through. So I've grown these before. I'm not particularly into them, and they're not under my care, and in these conditions in this back garden, they're not particularly all that prolific either. My favourite cucumber is Konza from Lidl, but the Lidl seeds at our local store, they don't seem to put much stock in their seeds, so there was hardly any tomatoes or whatever this year there. So there was like a very narrow range, and it looks like whoever's the manager of the shop doesn't actually bother too much. The thing is, if they included things like the tomatoes and the cucumbers, they'd sell, but they just weren't there to buy in the first place. So there's various peppers. I think because this one is a lighter colour than these ones, I think these ones are probably the poinsettia chilies. And this is mainly the ones from Red Dragon, the Total Eclipse and the Hot Mix and the, what's it called, Zabrange. So I'm thinking of putting all the Zabrange into one planter in the front garden, because they're sort of like a funny colour. So everything here, this all needs potting up. So I potted up some tomatoes last week or the week before. So there's one tray there, another tray there, some more up there. And then these were like various flowers. These need pricking out as well. And there's some Elsa Craig onions doing their thing. So a couple of these larger peppers, they've spent the last week in that polytunnel down there, so it's only because I was clearing it out that they're there. These broad beans, some of them are getting eaten by slugs or snails. And the one problem I always have with broad beans is that they say, oh, in order to avoid black fly, when they start flowering, you pick out the tops. Now, what are you supposed to do when they start flowering when they're only 6 inches tall? Because it seems a bit ridiculous to pinch out the top now when that's all they've got. So we'll see how it goes. So that's a closer, better view of the peppers. Oh, a couple of these have actually started to grow. So there's one there, and then there's one down that end somewhere as well. And also the Turkish orange aubergines. I've got a couple of those coming through as well. So there's one there. So we're due to get the nicer weather from next Monday. So I've backed off on planting out peppers and aubergines. I did actually plant out last week about another 25 or 35 snack peppers at the allotment. Those Spanish white onions, they're the things I definitely need to plant out this week, as if I'm not planting out other stuff, and I should be planting those out. And these are some more of my tomatoes. So these are the ones which tend to be indeterminate. So I've had patchy germination. I'll be working on this bed probably this week, then that bed next week. So they both got brambles and bindweed. That one's more brambles, this one is more bindweed. And then I've also got my own brambles here to start cutting. So what I do, I put that upside down in there, or in one of these bags, and then chop up the brambles into there. So we did actually cut all the brambles in the neighbour's garden, but the landlord next door, she only wanted them cut down to ground level because she doesn't mind this bit being wild, and then the tenant who lives there, she doesn't mind it being wild so long as it's not too wild. So I've worked out that's the reason why they only wanted me to cut it down to the ground rather than dig them out. But you can see that they've grown quite a lot in the last couple of weeks, because it was only 2 weeks ago that I actually did a session on clearing the brambles out here. But you can see that they've grown quite a bit in 2 weeks. I am due to take this polytunnel covers off, or both polytunnel covers off, and also the weed control sheet. Take out these and use those trampoline things in the corner instead of these concrete fence posts that I use at the moment. So it's due to rain tomorrow. So I was thinking if I emptied it tonight, then the rain could come down into the ground here. That's just an idea. And all these thermal mass containers, they've pretty much done their work for the spring. So I can just pour them out onto the ground. Lovely. So a lot of these have got brambles predominantly, or a bit of bindweed in them. So this one should be on second thoughts, I don't particularly want to pour that out onto this weed control sheet, but I'm not Tommy Cooper, so I don't know how I'm going to remove the weed control sheet. I suppose I'll just have to. Or I could use a bucket and empty the bins a little bit at a time outside, and then once they're light enough, I can move the dustbins outside and then empty them there. That's an idea. Right. So these are various chilies. So a lot of these need planting up as well into new stuff. And these were the Scotch bonnets. They've been in these little containers for ages now. So these definitely need potting up. And then like there's a couple of rogue snack peppers there. I think this is goji berries here, which I need to pick out. Yeah. So that's pretty much the situation. So I don't think I'll be recording much. So it's a current temperature. So it's 34 Celsius in there. So I've also got various seeds to plant out. I have got a housemate who's interested in doing that. It's therapeutic. So I've told him he can plant anything he likes and in any container he likes and with any compost he likes. So he'll start doing that later today. Because the thing is, if it was something I was really keen on planting, I'd have really planted it already. So where's my seeds? The seeds are in one of these buckets. Yeah, so that's most of my seeds there. So move that back over here now that we've got the space. So that's a perlite, some compost. I'm going to be buying some more of the enhanced. So that's premium. So Lidl don't seem to be doing that at the moment. They've run out of it. So I'll be getting some more bags of this enriched one, which is like the next level down. So that's £4.49. That's £3.99 for 40 litres. And oh yeah, sorry, seeing that compost there has just reminded me of something. So that's the first lot of peas. They're the Feltham first. And what I did, had 150 Avola peas, and I wasn't all that keen on sowing them individually, so I just scattered them on the ground, and then I just scattered some of that compost over top. So that's probably why peas get sown in shallow trenches in the first place, is that people can't be bothered to sow them individually. And the other thing we overlooked were the tomatoes. So they've greened up quite a bit over the last 3 or 4 days. I was hoping there's still a plant coming through there. Yeah, and there's one coming there, because there was 5 here. So it looks like the 5th one there hasn't come through, and there's supposed to be 6 there. But again, I'm not quite sure whether there's one missing. And there were 6 there, which seem to have, well, there's at least 5 come through. And it does look like there's 7 coming through on that row there. So they're the potatoes. So that's the end of the what's happening where we are with that garden. This is where I'll be doing most of the work this week.